Christmas, my sunshines, and welcome back once again to Recanlily's kitchen. If you are new, I'm Nana Benayan. I'm not going to make a huge U-boat for Christmas this Christmas. I'm just going to make small. I'm just going to do something very small, just a simple, like any normal day. Okay, like any normal day. So as always, you don't see my husband on the camera because he don't want to be on the camera. But without wasting time, please let's start. Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to decorate our holiday cake, the Christmas cake. So this is about 300 ml cream, and I'm going to add about 200 ml icing sugar and mix it together. I'm going to mix it until it is soft and fluffy. I'm not going to mix it so hard as any other day. Most of the time, I make the whipped cream very thick. This time, I'm going to make it very lighter so that it can absorb the cake faster, because today is 23rd and I'm going to do a lot of things, and the next day is the holiday. Most of the time, I make the cake a week before the holiday. But unfortunately, I was so busy. So this is the cream. I'm going to place it aside. This is cornflakes. Yeah, this is totally a new star. It's all about Mama Dora's recipe. I add about teaspoon sugar and then half teaspoon cinnamon powder and mix it. And then I'm going to add half deciliter condensed milk. This cake mixture is so amazing. You must try this. And then I'm going to mix it together. This is very special cake filling. So after mixing it together, I added 2 tablespoons of coconut flakes and mix it with my hand. I want it to mix very well. So after mixing, this is how it looks like. And that is our cake. This is ready to use cake. I bought it from the nearby shop. So with our ready to use cake, that is the first level. I place on coconut milk. This coconut milk is so thick and I like the way it is. And then spread it on top of the cake. I add more. So after, I added about 3 tablespoons of fresh milk. 3 tablespoons of fresh milk. It also helps the cake to get a different taste, and spread on coconut flakes. I then add more of the coconut milk. It will absorb the coconut flakes so that the cake becomes softer but not too dry. And then I'm going to spread on the cornflakes mixture we made. So this is all the cornflakes mixture, and I spread on more coconut milk. This helps the coconut flakes and then the cornflakes to become softer. I added more of the coconut milk and then place on the second level and press it down. And I place on more coconut milk on the second on the second level. then spread on cinnamon powder. It's about tablespoon cinnamon powder. You can use nutmeg as well. I then spread on coconut flakes. And add little bit of the fresh milk. This will help the coconut flakes to become softer. So I place on about 1 deciliter fresh milk and then the rest of the coconut milk. And place on the last level and press it down. So the next is the cream we whip. So the whipped cream, I'm going to spread it on top of the cake and around the cake. And because I am checking my diet, so nowadays I want to use small cream on my cake. Yeah, for some time now, I have been using small cream around my cake. I don't want too much because I'm still checking my weight all the time. So I spread the whipped cream on top of the cake and around the cake. Then I spread on the coconut flakes. I'm going to spread the coconut flakes on top and then around the cake. So this is it. This is exactly how I want it. Simple beauty and simple tasty. So I decided to spread sprinkles on top to make it look more like festive cake. And also you can also place snowballs on it. But last year I made the same similar cake and I used snowballs on top. So I wanted a little bit difference between both cake I made last year and this year. So that is why I spread the sprinkles on top and I removed the paper around it. And this is our 2020 Christmas cake. You enjoy this after 3 days or the next day. These are some vegetables. I bought them 2 weeks ago and it still look fresh. And this is cow. I just wash it and I'm splitting it into pieces into the size I want. So what you see around it is water. Yeah, I wash it carefully and I make sure I check inside so that there is no dust or some animals on it. I use vinegar and water to wash all the vegetables. So the paprika, I press in the head of the paprika and then split it into two and bring out the seed. And I'm going to slide it nicely. You can slide or chop your paprika according to your desire. So I have chopped enough of the green and it's okay. I'm not going to make a huge U-boat or Christmas feast. So this is okay. So I'm going to keep the rest of the paprika into the fridge. And then I place the paprika I chop on a plate. I will show you later. I have a plate beside me. I place it on. And then I'm going to peel the carrots. The carrots, you can as well as wash it nicer without peeling it. But I love peeling my carrots. And then cut the ends away. So I'm going to also slide the carrots. You can chop it in the shape of your desire. And then I place it on on the plate. The next is Prince sausage. So the Prince sausage, I just want to make some mark on it so that when I fried it, it become more palatable. So I make some marks around it, like 2 to 3 marks around it. So this is the vegetables we chopped, and the one we split, and then the sausages. I'm going to cover it with cling film and then keep it in the fridge so we continue with the rest. So I cover it with cling film, and this is it. And I'm going to keep it in the fridge, then we continue. With a cooking pot, I pour in about 1 deciliter cooking oil and then pour in the onions. The stove is on a medium-high heat. And I'm going to fry the onion for about 2 minutes. I stir it. You can chop the onion according to your desire. You can use as much as you want also. This is just 1 medium size onion I chopped. And I'm going to allow this to cook. So after a few minutes, I stir it again. And this is the onions. I'm going to allow it to cook, and then I'm going to add the crushed tomatoes. The crushed tomatoes was a box crushed tomatoes. So I pour in the crushed tomatoes and wash the bowl and pour it in the stew. And I'm going to stir it. So after stirring it, I'm going to add spices. The spices is crushed black pepper, curry powder, rosemary, caraway, and bay leaf. I added them together and then pour it into the stew and stir. And I'm going to allow the stew to cook for about 30 minutes because I'm going to make black stew or thick and black stew. So after 30 minutes, this is how it looks like. And I stir it. I stir it gently. I'm going to cook the stew until it is black. So that is why I add more oil. So the oil prevents it from burning, from the under burning. And then I added salt to taste. I add the salt late because the spices most of the time has some natural salt in them. So after I tasted and the salt is lower, I added the salt to taste. And then I'm going to cover it so that it does not split on the stove. So 10 minutes later, and here is 40 minutes later, it has become thick and brown or black. It is brown rather, as I'm looking for. So the stew is almost ready. Almost ready. So now the stew is ready. I placed it on a low heat for it to cook, and I'm removing the bay leaves. I placed in 2 bay leaves. Most of the time I don't remove the bay leaves. I place it in the stew like that. But today I'm removing it because it's holiday and I with a clean bowl, I'm going to make marinated paste, and I pour in about 1 deciliter olive oil, crushed black pepper and paprika. All these ingredients are 1 teaspoon each, rosemary and curry powder, garlic powder and cinnamon. You can use nutmeg to replace the cinnamon. And then I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon oyster sauce. You can use soya sauce or soy sauce as well, and skip the soya and skip the oyster sauce. So I place in a drop of soy sauce, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and mix it well. I mix it very well. And I place it aside. With another bowl, I pour in 1 deciliter olive oil. And I'm going to add honey. The honey is about half deciliter. It's natural honey, because we are going to make honey glazed ham. So I pour in half deciliter honey and then 1 teaspoon oyster sauce and mix it. Mix it very well. So this is the pork. This is the pork I bought. It's a medium size or large size. It is soaked with salt water. Salt water. So I'm going to cut and then pour the salt water in the bowl. So this is the pork after removing the sack, the red sack around it. And I'm going to remove the skin. It has some skin there. So I'm going to remove it away. And then there is more fat that I don't want. So I'm going to take the fat also away. So that is it. So after taking the fat away, I'm going to marinate it with the mixture we made. That is the spicy mixture. And I'm going to marinate it. So after marinating it, I'm going to save this for about an hour before we bake. I'm not going to bake it at once because I want all the spices to absorb the ham. I want it to absorb the ham very well. So with a baking tin or baking form, I grease it with olive oil and I place in the ham, and I'm going to keep it aside for 1 hour or so before we bake it. Just like that. Yeah. So for the ham, you can also marinate it overnight so that all the ingredients or the spices will work very well. And I decided to place potatoes and carrots around it because it is time for me to bake. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half since I marinated it. So I'm going to place it now in the oven under 200 degrees Celsius for about 45 minutes. And I'll bring it out every 20 minutes to brush it with the onion mixture we made. So with my blender or with the blender, I pour in parsley and then a teaspoon garlic, and I'm going to add in chopped celery stick. And then I'm going to add this leftover, the marinated we make for the ham, some left, and I save it in this plastic. So I'm going to add it. It's 1 tablespoon. I'm going to add it and blend it. So I'm mixing it with the blender. So after mixing it for some time, I decided to add olive oil. So I'm going to add about half deciliter olive oil to mix it and blend it again. I blend it to my preference, so it all depends according to your desire. It's ready and it is very thick. Very, very thick, very thick. And then this is our chicken drumstick, and I'm going to marinate it with the green sauce we made. And the green sauce is too much, so I'm just going to place in half of it and save the rest in the fridge. So here I'm marinating the chicken drumstick with the sauce, and I pull the skin of the chicken down and marinate it very well. Then after, I push it up again. So I'm going to repeat the same. I push the skin of the chicken drumstick down, marinate inside, then after I push it again and then place it on a baking sheet. There is a baking sheet beside me. I'm going to show you later after marinating all of them. So I'm done and I remove the gloves. So after, I decided to clean little dirt from the surface. So this is the chicken we marinated, and I'm going to keep it aside for some time. Okay, and then I spread on salt because I did not add salt in the mixture, so I added salt on it. And most of the time when you add salt on it when you are going to bake, it tastes so good and it's baked differently also. So after some minutes, it's more than 30 minutes I have marinated this, I'm going to bake it in the same oven I'm baking the ham. I have started preparing the banku. Sorry I did not show you, but I think on my other channel, Nana Bnayan, I have a recipe of how I boiled my banku. So this banku is a mixture of cassava dough, yellow corn dough mixed with a little bit of turmeric. This is actually my grandmother's mixture we normally do when I was a child. She used it for her banku. So it's a mixture of these three recipes with water. And then I placed it on the stove and have boiled it about 30 minutes now. There is no salt in it yet. This is how my family prepared their banku. And then I mixed some of the cassava dough separately that I added to the banku little by little because I want more of the cassava in the banku. I always use a lot of cassava dough in my banku more than the corn dough. So I'm going to turn this upside down and then cover it for some time. So after 20 minutes, I decided to make holes in them so that it helps the banku to boil very well. So it has boiled for some minutes, as I said earlier, and now I'm going to mix it very gently so that all the cassava liquid I just poured in to mix very well. You can see the texture the way it is. So now the banku is cooked. Now it is cooked that you can eat it. Then I add the salt and a little bit of water. And I'm going to make sure I make holes around it so that the water and the salt will mix very well. Very, very well. So after some minutes, it has boiled and then I'm mixing it. And I'll mix it in such a way that you will not feel that there is no salt in it or the salt is in the other part, the salt is not in the other part. So 30 minutes later, the banku is ready. And I was preparing the plastic I'm going to use it to make the shape of the banku. You all know I like making the shape of banku as a cone shape. Yeah. So after making one of the banku as a cone shape, I cut the excess plastic away. So when I take the banku into the plastic, I twist it little and then use the kitchen scissors. The scissors is for kitchen only, and then cut the excess away. I said it's for kitchen only because I have a lot of scissors in the house and any of them is at their various places that I use it to do different things. So I'm done with shaping the banku and I pour in the water and put off the heat. And I'm going to clean around. So this is the banku we shaped. This is my rice cooker pan. Yeah, it's old, but never mind. So with the rice cooker pan, I pour in about 1000 ml water mixed with kidney beans. I'm not going to use sorghum sticks to cook this waakye. This is kidney beans I cook from the scratch. And I added 250 grams rice. And I'm going to add in about half deciliter sunflower oil. You can use any cooking oil of your desire. And I'm allergic to beans, and I'm going to explain to you later. And stir it. I then added salt to taste. The salt is always according to your taste. Yeah, the salt is always according to your taste. And I'm allergic to beans, so but I think the kidney beans is friendly more than the other beans. That's why I like using kidney beans all the time to cook my waakye. Yeah, not because I like cooking with it, but because I'm allergic to all beans. That's why I like kidney beans, as it's friendly to the stomach. And then I place it in the rice cooker, and I'm going to cook it until it stops by itself. So here is about 40 minutes since I bake this ham. So I bring it out to brush it with the onion mixture we made. Yeah, I brush it gently with the onion mixture we made, and I'm going to bake it again. I'm going to bake it under 200 degrees Celsius. And then I bring out the chicken. The chicken is also in the same oven, and brush the chicken also with the same mixture, the onion mixture we made. The chicken has been in it for about 20 minutes now. So after brushing it, I'm going to bake until it is ready. Until when you use toothpick to touch it, you see that the liquid coming out is clear. Yeah, so here it's ready. The chicken is so ready. It looks so palatable. And then I'm going to place it into the oven, and then I'm arranging it nicely so that each one can take it gently. When you place it in it rough, sometimes it's difficult for the person to pick. So I'm just arranging it nicely so that it will be easy to pick. So after some hours, the pork is ready. Just check it. Wow, it is juicy and well baked. This is how I want my pork. I don't want my pork to overcook and turn to something else. Yes, this is original glazed ham, baked glazed ham. So I take the excess one away, and the little on the board, I'm going to taste it. And I'm garnishing it with tomatoes, cocktail tomatoes, the different colors. Yeah. And then spread on some of the liquid that come out from the ham on top of it. With the cooking pot on the stove on a medium-high heat, I pour in about 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil, and then add in the carrots. I'm going to fry the carrot for about 1 minute, and then add the sausage. I want the carrot to become firm and tender, and the sausage is also always half cooked. So I decided to fry the sausage with the carrot. So I add in the sausage, the princess sausage, as we called it in Sweden, princess sausage. And I'm going to fry it until it is ready. So I'm going to fry it about 5 to 10 minutes. It's ready, so I added the sliced paprika to it. And I'm going to fry this for only 1 minute because I don't want the paprika to overcook. So this sausage stir fried is going to be amazing, tasty, and delicious. It's ready here. It is ready. So I'm going to serve it in a chefing or a serving bowl. So I decided to separate the to separate the sausage in one side and then place the vegetable also on one side. I will show you later. Okay? Don't worry. So I'm going to place it on the table and come back. With the same frying pan, I'm going to use it to prepare Waakye fried rice. Waakye fried rice. So I pour in about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. The waakye we are baking is ready, and I add in about 250 grams mixed vegetables. You can use any vegetables of your desire. This vegetables is already steamed, so I'm not going to cook it for very long. I'm just going to cook it for 1 minute. And then I added salt to taste and crushed black pepper. The salt is always according to your taste. And this fried rice, you can add in scrambled eggs. But I'm making this more like vegetarian so that if anybody who is a vegetarian can eat. Okay, so I add in tablespoon oyster sauce. Yeah, oyster sauce and mix it or stir it. And I add in the waakye. It's ready. So I add in the waakye. I add about 1,000 ml to it. And then I'm going to place the rest aside. When it's cooled down, I will keep it in the fridge. So this is what I'm going to mix it with the vegetables. So this is our Waakye fried rice. This is so tasty and delicious. This is my 5th time of cooking this, and I must say you must try. So I add in more green, that is kale. I add more green to brighten the food or to make the Waakye fried rice to become more colorful. Can you see that? You must try this one. Please try and tag me, okay? This is so amazing, tasty and delicious Waakye fried rice. So I'm going to leave it for only 5 minutes and it's ready. So our Waakye fried rice is ready and I'm going to serve it in a serving bowl. You can serve it into any bowl of your desire, okay? It's all depend according to your preference, according to your desire. Serve it in any bowl of your desire, okay? Yeah, so this is our waakye. I will show you later, and this is the cake we made, remember, days ago. Yeah. Oh jeez, look at the food lying on the table, on the dinner table. Wow, this is so amazing, right? Amazing, very colorful, palatable, delicious, tasty. Oh yes. And I have the tomato sauce, the brown tomato sauce, and then hot pepper also on the table. I forgot to show you the hot pepper. It's also on the table, okay? It's so amazing. Yeah, look at the stir fried. Look at the chicken. The chicken. Oh, yes, so colorful. The ham, the glazed ham, the hot pepper, and then the brown sauce, the brown tomato sauce, the fried rice waakye or waakye fried rice, the yellow banku. Wow, and the cake we made. Enjoy this. This is how I serve myself, okay? Enjoy this holiday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is our final vlog of December. We are not going to upload video again. This is our final vlog or video of the year. Enjoy this holiday with peace and love. And we are all going to 2021 as a blessed and healthy people. Bye.